Hey, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at a deck from 2010 that wins World Championship in Master and Senior Division. It is a LuxChomp deck or Luxray and Garchomp level X. So that deck was probably and arguably the best deck from 2010 format. It was simply unstoppable back then and probably the most popular deck. I wouldn't say of all time, but definitely one of the most popular decks. So what is so special about Luxray level X? Definitely ability or Poke Power back then. So it says that once during a turn, when you put Luxray level X from your hand on your active Luxray, you might switch the defending Pokemon with one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And that was pretty much the catch of the card. So you pretty much had the Gust effect in that Poke Power. And also Flash Impact was a pretty strong attack back then. So for 2 energy cards, or for 1 lightning and 1 colorless energies, you could use it for 60 and also 30 to snipe one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And card also had free retreat cost, which is the most important thing of all. So you were simply able to use that effect as well. So 2 copies of Luxray level X in that deck. So the other 2 cards, obviously, that we have on the list are Luxray, just a regular one. This is the version with 80 HP, Bite, and Trash Bolt. So discard energy from your hand. If you can't discard energy from your hand, you can't use that Trash Bolt attack, or you can simply hit with a Bite. Interesting rule about Luxray level X or any other level X card was the fact that you could simply use previously evolution attacks as well. So for example, with Luxray level X attached to Luxray, he was also able to use that Bite and Trash as well. So you could even power it up with the double Color's energy and hit for 30 with the Bite. So that's the reason why that was so strong and so popular at that format. Obviously, another card is a Garchomp C level X, 110 HP as well, with the weakness on the colorless. Wow, that was something new back then. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, Pokemons had weakness on the colorless since early EX era. But this card also had pretty interesting ability. Healing Breath. Once during a turn when you play it from your hand to Garchomp, which is in the active position, you might remove all damage counters from each of your Pokemon SP. So that format required a lot of skill and combinations and plannings because it was simply unstoppable with combinations of heals and gust effects with Luxray and Garchomp. So that's the reason why that deck was pretty much unstoppable. Dragon Rush, discard 2 energies attached to Garchomp C, choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon or active Pokemon, and this attack does 80 damage to that Pokemon. You are not applying weakness and resistance to the benched, and Garchomp C can't use Dragon's Rush during your next turn, but that pretty much doesn't matter because you could simply use that retreat effect and simply switch on the bench. And obviously 2 Garchomp C with the Claw Swipe and Earthquake as well. 3 energies, 50, and this attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So pretty much some kind of, double knockout combo with this deck. There is also a Uxie with the Poke Power setup, which says that once during a turn, when you put Uxie from your hand on your bench, you might draw cards till you have 7. So back then, pretty much every card had something to do, and a lot of combinations. We also have Bronzong with Galactic Switch in the build as well. which says that once during a turn, you might move an energy card attached to one of your SP to another of your Pokemon, then put 2 damage counters on Bronzong. So he was pretty much able to use free energy switch with Bronzong ability. There was also Ambipom G level 40 with Tail Code attack, which also allows you to move an energy attached to defending Pokemon to another of your opponent's Pokemon. So just in case, you could also move energies from your opponent's Pokemons as well, but also you could use that Snap attack and hit for 60, but if defending Pokemon has any energy attached to it, this attack base was decreased from 60 down to 20. There was also a Chatot with the Mimic, which helps you to shuffle your hand in your deck and then drop the cards equal to the number of the cards in your opponent's hand. You know, a lot of different combos, and there was also Toxicroak with the Leap Away. That card is a promo and it costs around $20. I mean, the whole deck is probably around $500 to $600, which is absolutely madness how expensive the deck is for build. And yeah, I mean, this ability says that once during a turn, if Toxicroak is in your active position, you might flip a coin, and if it heads, you can return it, and all cards attached to it to your hand. So if your opponent deals some damage to you, you could simply get a chance to put it back into your hand, and that's the reason why the card was so good. And there is also a Poison Bind Roserade SP, which says that the defending Pokemon is now poisoned and it cannot retreat during your opponent's next turn. Long Wipe for 30, and if the defending Pokemon is affected by any special condition, you might do 30 damage to one of your opponent benched Pokemon. So, you know, pretty much tons of combinations to Snipes. Also one copy of Lucario GL with Abundantary Aura. Apply weakness for each Pokemon, both your and your opponent ×2. So for that double weakness. Deck also played one copy of Uxie level X with a trade-off, so that's pretty much the ability that helps you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and you can choose one of them and put in your hand and put the other card in the bottom of your deck. So that was pretty much the Pidgeotto effect just in the Uxie. Another card is a Crobat with the Flash Bite ability. When you put Crobat on your bench, you might put 1 damage counter on one of your opponent Pokemon. Additionally, deck also played Time Walk Azelf once during your turn. When you put Azelf from your hand on the bench, you can pretty much look at the face down of your prize cards, and if you do, you might choose one Pokemon you find there, show it to your opponent and put it in your hand, and then choose one other card from your hand and put it down to the prize cards. And obviously deck also played Entei and Raikou Legend with that Detonation Spin and Thunderfall. We can also put this right here. So that's all from the Pokemon list, and the light is again hitting here, so I really need to fix that somehow. Yeah, pretty much too much light here. Okay, this is a little bit better. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of different Pokemons in the list, which is absolutely madness. So deck also played 4 copies of Cyrus Conspiracy. Search your deck for a supporter card, a basic energy card, and a trainer card that has Team Galactic Invasion in its name. Show to your opponent, put in your hand. So something like today's Rosa, but just without, you know, knockout effect. Also 3 copies of Rosanna's Research. Search your deck for up to 2 any combination of basic Pokemon and basic energy cards. Show to your opponent, and then put them in your hand. And also 1 copy of Baby Search. Choose a card from your hand, put it on the top of your deck, search your deck for a Pokemon, show to your opponent, put it in your hand. So back then you didn't have Ultra Ball, neither Level Ball or something like that. There was only a Luxury Ball or something like that, which helps you to search the deck for Pokemon, but it also had other effect like search a deck for a Pokemon, excluding Pokemon level X, show to your opponent and put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. After, if any electric ball is in your discard pile, you can't play this card, so you could only play one copy of it, and it was pretty much limited to only one play. Back then there was also a quick ball in the format as well, but it wasn't like today's quick ball. Also, 1 errors collections, so search your discard pile for up to 2 in any combination of Pokemon SP and Basic Energy, show to your opponent, put in your hand. The deck also played 4 copies of Poketurn, return 1 of a Pokemon SP and all cards attached to it in your hand, meaning that you could simply, without flipping a coin, return either way Luxray or something like that, as long as it is a SP in its name. 3 copies of PokeChomp, which helps you to search the deck for a Pokemon by trading one of the Pokemon from your hand for another from your deck. A deck also played 3 SP Raiders. Choose a card from your hand, put it in the top of your deck, search the deck for a Pokemon SP, show to your opponent, and put it in your hand. Also, 3 copies of Energy Gains as well. Kind of interesting innovation with those mechanics with Team Galactic's in its name. As long as the Team Galactic Invasion Energy Gain is attached to Pokemon, the attack cost of that Pokemon costs 1 color's energy, which basically means that you could attack with just a single energy attached to Luxray for 60, and that was pretty much a madness, or actually on other SP Pokemon as well. I think that Luxray was not SP. Yes, it was. So yeah, I mean, what else to say? 3 Power Sprays, something like an instant card in Magic the Gathering. You could play this card on your opponent turn if they were using, you know, a Poke Power, so you could just show them Power Spray, and that pretty much stops the effect of that Poke Power. And also 1 copy of Versus Seeker. We all know what Versus Seeker is capable of doing. Deck also plays 4 copies of Call Energies. Call Energies back then were like the best energies. This energy is probably the best energy, special energy ever printed, besides Double Core's energy, obviously, because when you attach a Call Energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon in the active position, once per turn, as long as the Call Energy is attached to your active Pokemon, you can search the deck for 2 basic Pokemons and put them on your bench. So that's the reason why back then meta was so good and so interesting and funny to play, because you had so many combinations and ways to play it with that Call Energy. Okay, so obviously deck also plays 4 copies of Double Colorless Energy. One of those Double Colorless Energies just falls on my falls from my table. It also played 3 Lightning Energies, and 1 of each Psychic and Fire Energies. So that's pretty much the entire deck list, as you can see in this photo. I mean, 1 photo, 60 cards, tons of memories, and what else to say. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the thumbs up, and wait for, you know, future updates, because soon I'm gonna post some live streams and the battles with 2010 era decks with my friends, so stay tuned for that video as well. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you next time.